Welcome, Capricorn. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot, and I'm doing your September reading. The month of September is really eclipse month. It is framed by the full moon, a lunar eclipse in Pisces on the 7th of September, and a solar eclipse, the second new moon in Virgo on September 21st. As we are currently in the new moon in Virgo's first part one in late August. That is the energy I'm currently working under. So this extended opportunity of Virgo, ruled by Mercury, is really extending our opportunity to think, sort, discriminate, and understand how our beliefs, our spiritual values, our principles must be integrated into our daily lives through our routines and habits. Your overall energy for this reading, Capricorn, is the Death card, which is informing this renewal of spiritual values, belief, and intention in your life. This feels as though you have come through a really long, dark night of the soul. And that sounds a little more gruesome than it may be, than the way you've experienced Capricorn. You are very familiar with the shadow world, with the dark side. You're not afraid of the depths. However, I do feel like there's a way in which you are experiencing this rebirth in a way that is fundamentally recharacterizing who you are. Underneath the deck, the Nine of Swords. So here is confirming this idea that you are releasing this idea that suffering is the only way to exist through the world. That your hardships have been so monumental, so consistent, so pervasive for you, that you don't know how to experience the world without this identification with sadness, with hurt, with pain, with betrayal. And it's telling me that you've experienced a lot of that, particularly as Pluto has recently emerged into Aquarius from Capricorn after 17 years or more. And depending on your planetary placements, Pluto was in Sagittarius before that for another 17 years. So there's the possibility, depending on your individual chart, where you have been pressured to dig deep, to mine your own internal resources as the world around you has collapsed and destroyed or been taken from you in some way that has fundamentally shaped you. So there's an end to that. You are being reborn, and that inclines me to believe that there is a feeling of lightness that you are experiencing, a buoyancy that you're experiencing. So this emerged, the power animal. Okay, and so this inclines me. The chrysotile. Power animal is the key word. My power animal supports, guides, and loves me throughout my life. And this is a prescriptive for many of you to sink into what aspect of natural life you feel aligns with you, provides you with alliance, almost like a familiar in the world, the Wicca world, right? An animal that helps you out, that soothes you, that comforts you. And so most of us have an animal like that. For me, it is cats. I am a child of Bastet. Whatever animal supports you is important, because then you actually begin to see animals, birds, crows, in particular, communicate with you, and this becomes a conduit to your ancestors. Love this. I do want to caution you before we start this reading that it is a general reading and it isn't going to resonate for some of you. And when that occurs, it is very frustrating. I invite you to check your other placements for messages that you will find, but I don't want you to feel obligated to argue, stay, or get angry when you're not seeing yourself in this reading. So for the past, we have the Four of Cups. And this is referring specifically to this end of August, beginning of September energy. The Four of Cups is something responding to the sense that something is missing, something is absent, particularly as you experience this rebirth, because this rebirth is showing you your own world, the same world you've been in for however long you've been in, as abundant, as full of the possibilities for manifestation of the things that you desire. And so, even in that, even as you're experiencing this renewed sense of empowerment, you're finding some absence that you can't ignore. Something that apparently you are either blocking through your lack of attention to this possibility or offer, or you are feeling as though this offer is no longer a match to who you are. And when it isn't matching you, despite the sadness that seems to be portrayed on this card, you are indeed aware that you can manifest something else that is a better match for you. So this card is not as difficult as it may seem. Fours are always foundations and establishments. So this indicates a renewed cultural foundation for you, social and spiritual foundation of practicing your craft, just as a power animal can be a familiar, an ally in your manifestation. You too are aware that you can practice manifestation and choosing those things that support you rather than those things that don't. And this, in and of itself, is a huge growth curve for you, Capricorn. You are entitled and deserving to ask for more. You are worthy of that. In the middle of September, approximately the time between the full moon in Pisces on the 7th and the second new moon in Virgo on the 21st, the Five of Cups. Interesting progression. So when something is missing from our world, we often look to the past, the failures, the sadness, the things that didn't work out. This is such a clean, can be such a clean connection with the sense of pain and suffering, betrayal, all the horrible things people have done to you, just as most of us have experienced that sense that, yeah, there have been some broken-hearted energy, there's some disappointments, I've made mistakes, there are some failures here. But in this instance, you are again supporting your own relationship to yourself. This recognition that not that you don't need others, but that you don't necessarily depend on others for the things that you can give yourself. In recognizing this pattern, you recognize you've been choosing something that doesn't support you over and over again. And now, as at any time, you have the capacity to honor yourself, to take yourself seriously, to pursue the things that you know are right for you. And that's what leads to the sense of empowerment, that there are things that you have yet to accomplish, you have yet to achieve. You have dreams and you're worthy of pursuing those. In the future, and this is pretty much around the second new moon in Virgo, the Page of Swords is about this sense of recognizing that you're at the limit of what you know. You are not sure how to proceed as you have lived so much of your life in remorse, in sadness, in regret, in suffering, in withstanding and overcoming the hurt that others have imposed on you, that you blamed everyone that could be blamed until you realize that you're the only one to blame. And yet, where do you go from here? So the spiritual renewal is inclining you to recognize it's time to take notes. It's time to witness who you are. Witness the way that you stop yourself from getting what you desire, ways in which you don't acknowledge that you have desires or wants, ways that you are afraid to ask for more because you don't know if you're deserving of it. And now you're in a place of leading with your curiosity. What if? And this is incredibly powerful because the energy of this curiosity is allowing you to ask questions, ask for help, to listen to what others have to offer rather than preparing to speak when others are talking. So there's a lot here that is inclining you to say, I really need more direction. I really want to open up to what the universe is now showing me, what I am now capable of asking for, of looking at, of moving towards. I move towards what is not familiar to me because I'm pursuing truth and justice. If this reading is resonating for you, please like this video and subscribe to my channel, Pacific Tarot. I appreciate all the support that you give me in whatever way you give it to me. So thank you for spending time with me. I'm going to clarify the Four of Cups in the past with the Queen of Columns, which is the Knight of Wands, and the Nine of Columns, the Nine of Wands. This is really almost showing me your powerful, imaginative, and creative life. There's a way in which you have imagined the pursuit of things that are fulfilling, that feel good, that are supported, that recognize your giftedness. And you have done that repeatedly. You have not simply tried one thing. You have tried many efforts. It looks as though it's in a particular direction. In other words, there's a particular skill or a capacity that you've tried to build upon. It also shows that you are good at many, many things, and that ability to be multi-talented has often distracted you from pursuing the thing that is the most fulfilling to you. And so this is really it represents a time in which you identified what you desired, what you wanted, and you worked very hard at achieving that. You were very content to explore the opportunities and to pursue those, even if they did not net you with the success or achievement you were particularly interested in. But this shows a keen, a strong heart, a strong desire in nature, and a powerful creativity and imagination. And there's something about the end of August, beginning of September, where this comes through with clarity for you. Somehow you're building your current desire on the basis of experience you've already gained. In the middle of the month, specifically between the full moon and the new moon in Virgo, the second one in September, we have the Seven of Vessels, the Seven of Cups, and the Tower card. Can I just say that of the 6 readings I've done today, I believe the Tower has appeared in this exact location for everyone. So there's in between that full moon and next new moon in Virgo energy, there is a monumental event that represents some kind of collapse, some kind of unpredictable or unimagined change or event. It feels as though something that others, including yourself, were relying on is no longer available. But what stands in its place for you is the myriad of options that are available to you. You're almost overwhelmed with options as you turn away from the past and move towards the possibilities in the present. And this present is really about integrating uh, the various realizations you've experienced most recently and integrating those into all the habits and routines of your lifetime. So here you are understanding that it isn't just the destination that is important to you. Uh, it is the experiences of how you achieve what it is you're working towards. So, how you live your life every day, how you honor yourself, how you honor and take seriously your desires, your goals, how you have faith, invest in yourself on the daily so that you are empowered to move forward along a path that you know is aligned for you. And this can be overwhelming, an overwhelming sense that the universe is directing you, that it's out of your hands, that you are being shown doorways that you never would have imagined in the past. But this is in part this ability to honor and develop the relationship you have with yourself, the willingness, the bravery, the courage to face up to your dreams and to pursue those. It also can be a time mid-month where there are many offers or many invitations, not all of which are for you, that often come as more distractions than supports. So it isn't that these things are not, you're not deserving of these things, but these things are the residual results of something you're moving towards, which is more important for you. This is the breakthrough, and these are distractions from that. In the future, the Page of Swords is about the time of the second new moon in Virgo in September. The Oracle of Wings is the Page of Swords, a repeat, and the Goddess of Columns is the King of Wands. Whoa. So there's some pretty complex spiritual rebirth occurring here. So on both sides, I feel like you are gaining in confidence, courage, clarity about what you desire, about the path you're on, bringing in wisdom, knowledge you've gained from many experiences, including former lives, joining your ancestors as a part of healing your world or generations. And yet, that comes from this ability to release what you know, all that you've learned, all that you know to date, to release that, to forgive yourself for your investment in something that has frustrated your desire for accomplishment, for more. And so you are open to simply learning, sucking in, gaining information, allowing yourself to be directed. And this being directed is not somebody coming in and telling you what to do or moving you around, manipulating you. This is your connection to the divine. Your connection to spirit is now informing you of how to live every day. This actions, the steps that need to be integrated into your routines, the awareness that everyone knows something you don't, and that your job is to look and to learn and to listen. I'm going to finish this reading, Capricorn, with a Soul's Journey card. And Fear comes out. I realize that I'm testing my resolve to live in the energy of love. Wow. I really feel this through the progression of cards in this particular reading. This place of deep transformation, releasing suffering, the idea that life is one of suffering and pain, and allowing yourself to be transformed by your own experiences and the lessons learned from those is really powerful. And I feel like this does come to a place where you understand that you have a divine connection, that you have been protecting and preparing for the most of your life, particularly through the challenges, the struggles, the betrayals that you've experienced. But this idea that you're opening up your curiosity, you're open up to learning, to taking notes, to finding more information, to pursuing the truth. That's what leads to your justice. So fear is nothing to be feared in many ways. It is a tool that you are wielding expertly, Capricorn. If you've enjoyed this content, there's more content here for you to check out. Thank you for your likes and your subscribes. Until next time, namaste.